Hello, I'm Carter Hansen. I'm a sophomore here at Gettysburg College from Boulder, Colorado. I'm a political science and philosophy double major, and I'm considering either a peace and justice studies minor or a Middle East and Islamic studies minor. Um, and I spent last summer as a Kolbe Fellow researching gerrymandering and redistricting. Um, and I did this mostly from a mathematical and litigative perspective, with kind of an eye for possible reform in the future. My advisor was Professor Campbell Hetrick from the mathematics department, and I first interacted with her as her student in a freshman seminar class, which was the mathematics of voting. And as a part of that, we talked a lot about gerrymandering, and we participated in a statewide competition for drawing our own congressional maps through the Draw the Lines organization, and participating in that and really getting the hands-on approach to mapping was really got me interested in learning more about gerrymandering. And so I participated in that competition. I got second place in Western Pennsylvania, and I continued working with that group. I'm now part of the Draw the Lines Map Corps, which is kind of a citizen-run initiative to ensure that the redistricting reform in the state is moving forward. And so coming off of that, I also have some prior political experience in redistricting back in my home state of Colorado as a state Senate aide. So kind of that experience got me really interested in doing research on it. So what I did is over the course of the summer, I produced a 5-part podcast series, with each episode looking at the gerrymandering issue from a different perspective. So I talked a lot about, kind of the aggregate of the impact that gerrymandering has had in terms of the partisan seat distribution in Congress, in the U.S. House. I didn't really look at the allocation between states, but I did focus on how the system which draws the lines by state is having this influence on the aggregate Congress. And I kind of looked at the history of that. Especially in the last 10 years, it's been very heavily Republican led, the gerrymandering efforts. Though it's by no means a Republican issue, it's both. It's just Republicans have been in power in a lot of state governments. So I looked at it from that perspective, kind of the aggregate view. I also kind of looked at how different mathematical standards for measuring gerrymandering, so that includes the efficiency gap, for example, but also statistical outlier analysis. So a lot of different kind of mathematical tools for measuring it. I looked at how that has fared in court, especially Supreme Court, but also some state Supreme Court litigation, especially in states that have been heavily gerrymandered, such as Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania is a really good example because there has been this successful effort on the state level to ensure that the map is being drawn fairly through the court process, through the judiciary, state judiciary. So I kind of reflected on how the composition of the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court, has changed quite drastically within the last even 2 years or 3 years. How that's affecting the prospects for substantial gerrymandering reform. So I looked at it from the litigative point of view, picking out a few Supreme Court cases over the past few years. And then I also brought in more of the state level political perspective. And I did that by looking at how, in a lot of states, ballot initiatives have established independent redistricting commissions that are not partisan influenced. So I look at how that is envisioned legally, but also the political potential of that, and what effect that can actually have within the full, you know, a larger picture of the entire U.S. Congress. So I hope you enjoy and check out my podcast, and I'm really excited about this project. It's something I'm very passionate about, and I learned a lot about how to conduct a research paper over a long time frame. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. Thanks.